There is a question that has survived for thousands of years and still does not have a definitive answer. Where did the pyramids of Egypt truly come from? Not just who built them, not just how they moved the stones, but something deeper. How did the idea begin? What mind first imagined a perfectly shaped artificial mountain rising from the desert, aligned with the sky, designed to outlive empires? And before you assume this is just ancient history, let me ask you something direct. If today a modern nation were asked to build something equivalent using only primitive tools, would you be completely confident it would be simple? The pyramids did not suddenly appear at their full scale. Before the Great Pyramid, there were simpler structures called mastabas, low rectangular tombs modest in size. Then something changed. A leap happened. The Step Pyramid of Djoser marked the beginning of a new architectural vision. It was no longer just a burial site. It was a statement. Power carved into stone. And from that moment forward, ambition escalated. But the true mystery is not only their size, it is the precision. It is the near-perfect orientation toward the cardinal points. It is the unsettling feeling that these structures were designed with knowledge that still challenges us today. Now think about what it takes for a civilization to accomplish something like this. Political stability, economic strength, massive coordination. A shared belief system powerful enough to mobilize thousands of people for decades. Egypt, during that era, had exactly that. The pharaoh was not merely a ruler, he was considered divine, a living mediator between gods and humans. When a pharaoh died, his body was preserved because his existence did not end. His tomb was not just a grave, it was a gateway to eternity. And if the pharaoh was eternal, then his monument had to reflect eternity as well. But even with this explanation, historians remain unsettled. The technological leap seems too sudden. Within a few generations, architecture evolved from simple burial platforms to monumental geometric structures made of millions of precisely fitted blocks. Was it centuries of trial and error that we simply do not see in the record? Was it accumulated engineering knowledge passed down through specialized elites? Or was there something about their understanding of mathematics and astronomy that we still underestimate? This is where bold theories begin to surface. Lost civilizations, forgotten advanced knowledge, even external influences from beyond Earth. These ideas are dramatic and compelling because they offer easy answers. But sometimes the simplest explanation is also the most impressive. A disciplined society, united by belief and long-term vision, can achieve what later generations find almost impossible to imagine. Then we arrive at the detail that fascinates modern researchers the most: the alignment with the stars. The Great Pyramid is almost perfectly aligned with true north. The margin of error is extremely small. Today we use advanced instruments to achieve that level of accuracy. How did they do it more than 4,000 years ago? Some researchers propose that they observed circumpolar stars and used precise astronomical tracking methods. Others suggest solar shadow measurements combined with careful geometric calculations. Regardless of the exact method, one fact remains: the sky was part of the design. The pyramids were not random constructions. They were cosmological symbols in stone. The layout of the pyramids at Giza has been compared to the belt of Orion. Is it coincidence? Is it symbolic reflection of their mythology? Or is it a projection of modern interpretation? What we know is that the Egyptians were deeply connected to the heavens. The stars were not distant lights. They were divine forces. They represented immortality. If the pyramids were symbolic stairways guiding the pharaoh's soul to the cosmos, then their celestial alignment becomes more than architectural precision. It becomes spiritual intention. But the mystery is not only above, it is also grounded in logistics. The Great Pyramid contains approximately 2.3 million stone blocks. Some weigh over 50 tons. Many were transported from distant quarries. They were lifted to extraordinary heights. They were fitted together with astonishing accuracy. The most widely accepted theory today involves a combination of external ramps and internal spiral ramps. Digital simulations have shown that such a system is mathematically possible. There are markings and structural clues that may support this idea, yet possible does not mean proven. Recent scanning technology has revealed internal voids still not fully understood, hidden spaces, chambers that could potentially reshape our understanding of the construction process. Each discovery generates new excitement, and each new detail raises additional questions. The more we uncover, the more complex the narrative becomes, and complexity sustains mystery. Perhaps the true origin of the pyramids is not rooted in lost alien technology or supernatural intervention. Perhaps it lies in something far more human and far more powerful: collective organization, long-term planning, absolute belief in eternity. A civilization that built not for decades but for millennia. The pyramids are more than tombs. They are messages sent forward in time, declarations of permanence, proof that ancient humanity was capable of thinking on a scale that still intimidates us. And here is the deeper question. What other knowledge has been lost? How many techniques disappeared because they were never fully recorded? How many insights remain buried beneath sand waiting to be rediscovered? The pyramids remain standing. They have endured storms, empires, and shifting cultures, and they continue to challenge our certainty. As long as there is no absolute answer, the mystery will survive, because the pyramids do not only force us to look backward, they force us to reconsider what human ambition can accomplish when it believes it is building for eternity. And perhaps that is why we cannot stop talking about them. Not because we doubt who built them, but because we are still trying to understand the full extent of what they were truly capable of achieving.